Now, when it comes to relationships, um, let's say toxic relationships, okay? And the man has gotten entangled with a person, I could say a narcissist woman. That's a woman, okay? This is about man and woman kind of thing. The relationship is going to be very difficult to end. Why? These women, what they do, they are going to entangle that man and they are going to make sure that they get pregnant with that man. So, in those relationships, it doesn't mean that these nurses are very much in love with kids and they do love kids, and all of a sudden they will show you that they love kids. So, I want to have kids with you and everything. But they know, because when you're dealing with these Jezebels, they know there's a very big chance they cannot sustain that relationship. And they try to make you, the man, get them pregnant. So they are going to do everything necessary to get pregnant with the man. The pregnancy is a trap. This thing is sliding. The pregnancy is a trap. The narcissist doesn't have kids with you because they love children and they want to start the family with you. They have children with you because they want to set a trap for you. A narcissist can get pregnant within 2 months. They can even get pregnant the first month. And before you know it, you're still thinking about the relationship. Maybe it was a situationship, whatever, one night stand or whatever, 2 night stand. You wasn't yet sure if you want to have a relationship with that person. They have something else different on the mind. They are going to make sure they will try to have a baby with you in the guise of starting a family with you. It's a trap. Because men, they get very attached to their children. Now, a man can also be attached to a woman. Eventually, you have some form of a soul tie with this Jezebel. But the man is going to really get attached to the kids. A kid or kids, it could be one or two, maybe more. And as much as the relationship is toxic, the man is struggling to maintain that relationship. Even some cases they have tried to end it or they have tried to find a way out or whatever, it is always going to be difficult. It is going to be hard. Okay, they do it eventually, but it's going to be hard because they already have kids with that narcissist. A lot of men don't speak about abuse. A lot of men don't speak about abuse because the society has kind of conditioned us to believe that the men always are supposed to be the men. The man is the man and that kind of thing. And whatever it is going on with you, you're not meant to talk about it, or not meant to speak about it, or sometimes you're shy or afraid to talk about it because of what society will think of you. But the truth is, a lot of men are stuck in abusive relationships. You see a lot of men, they go out there and they put on a smile. They will try to show it that they're okay. You might ask them, are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. Everything is fine. Family is good. But, ladies and gentlemen, as much as they are putting up this show out there, they're going through it at home. Those are the things I used to believe, back in the days. I didn't want to mention things like that to family members or friends or stuff. I would keep it on my, to myself. But the truth is, it was a very bad relationship. And I wasn't really sure that it could, many times, you could try to think about ways to end it. You're suffocating. Men suffocate in relationships. A lot of those men, especially the men in power, you see those men, your ministers or whatever, your big men, even high profile men, they do struggle in relationships because they are afraid. They are afraid to talk about it because of what people may think about them. But a lot of them are stuck. You know, they are planning to leave. They want to leave. They don't know how to do it. They have got kids with this narcissist, and they are very much attached to the kids. In most cases, you might find them, they are the bread earners, you know, the breadwinners. They are the ones, taking care of the family. They are the ones putting in the effort or everything, probably mortgage or, rent or something. But the biggest reason, I could say the main reason, is because of kids. That is why many men cannot get out of those uh, toxic relationships. It takes a whole lot of courage for a man to get out of that relationship and they leave their kids behind. Because as much as you're thinking about yourself, okay, you're entangled with this toxic person, whatever, you're already going through it all. Now you're thinking in your mind, if you decide to end that relationship, what is going to happen to the children? How is that person going to be for the kids? Yes, sometimes the men separate and they get custody or whatever. In some case scenarios, they do get custody. But in most cases, when you're living a toxic relationship, especially in the modern worlds and societies, men leave the kids behind. But if you're a man out there and you're in a similar situation, I want to let you know, you leaving the relationship is going to open the doors for you to heal. And when you do heal, you're going to be in a nice spot energetically. And that healing is also for your children. Because you see, at the end of the day, if you decide to stay because of kids, yes, I know, especially in the early years, you have kids, 1, 2 years, the young ones, delicate kids, and you're thinking about how are you going to leave these kids behind? What is really going to happen? If the narcissist can do those kind of things to you, what about the kids? But at the end of the day, you have to get the courage to leave, because when you do get the guts to leave and you go do the healing work on yourself, your healing, the kids are going to depend on your healing. Because you see, when you're in a toxic relationship, the kid is in the middle of two broken parents. They're in the middle of the narcissist, and they are in the middle of the narcissist, and they are also the other side, the broken parent, the abused one. Let's say the abused father. So when you do leave, there is chances that there's going to be balance, because you go out there to heal, and as much as you're still a part, which will always be the case, you will be a part of those kids. They will always have a balance, because they will have a healed parent on the side. So you're not going to have a kid who is in the middle of two broken parents. The father is broken, the mother is toxic, the child is going to be broken. But when you go out there, do the work and heal, the child at least will have one healed parent. Yes, there will be a toxic parent on the other side, but they will at least be a healed parent who will now show the other child, the child, what direction they could go. Because you cannot properly bring up a child when you're broken. So you can stay as long as you want, but at the end of the day, the child is also being affected because you're broken. You have no healthy way to raise a child. But you go out there, you find a way to get out, and you do the healing work. The child at least is going to have a healed parent on the side. So a lot of men, you see, they are stuck in those kind of relationships because of children. Because a man is very heavy for a man to leave their kids behind. In this case, I'm talking about the men. If the man is the good one and the woman is the toxic one, it is hard for a man, especially a healthy person, a healthy man, to leave their kids behind. A man will do anything for their kids. And those nurses, they know this. Is the reason why they do anything they can to trap you. They trap you in that relationship because they want you to stay. They know that you're going to stay. You're not going to walk away and you're going to leave your kids behind. They always do that. So they are going to try to make kids with you. By the time you realize that you're in a toxic relationship, you've already made 2, 3, 4, maybe even more kids and you're already trapped in the toxic relationship. So how are you going to leave your kids behind? It's going to be hard. They do it eventually, they do it, but it's hard, you know. So it's for the man out there to, the men who are going through abuse. You just have to find the courage. You have to find the courage to live. Okay, it's gonna be hard, but you have to do it. There is no other way out of it. You have got to live because your kids, or I could say, what is the best word to use? Your healing is also going to be beneficial for your children. Okay, it is not an easy route. It's not an easy path, but when you do it, it's going to be worth it. Okay. So let me know if I'm talking to you, if you're the man out there. I know that men, they don't talk a lot about this thing. They don't talk a lot about abuse, but there are so many out there who are struggling in abusive relationships. Okay. Get the courage to live. Go do the work and turn out to be that healed parent because your children are very dependent on the healed version of you, not the broken version of you. If you decide to stay, it is also going to affect the children in a way. Okay. So drop us a comment, like the page, and subscribe. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session if you want to. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. Denzo Mos signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.